let's talk about how to present time series data. Here, for example, house price index of Toronto, and it provides a very useful time series presentation, which does not only shows the house price index, but it also provides shaped in blue colored year-on-year change. And so, say for example, when we find the price index seems to be stable in this period, but indeed dipped into the negative zone on its year-on-year change. Okay, besides that, you will find it also allows you to choose either 5 years, 3 year, 2 year, or 1 year, or even right with this kind of approve menu, right, that you can show as long as the data allow. So today, let's see whether we can provide similar chart by using Excel. So here I use the Airbnb average daily rate data, which start from 2015 August, and their monthly data up to 2020 December. So for Auckland downtown, right, this is the ADR, the rent of the Airbnb in their listing. Plot, I will show you how to plot this ADR index over time. This is a time series plot. Well then, right, more importantly, we have to provide, right, also plot this year-on-year change. So it's very simple. So you add one more row, and the definition of a year-on-year change is equal sign, open bracket, that the ADR in 2016 August minus 1 year ago, that is 2015 August, close bracket, divided by the previous one, 2015 August ADR, right? So you can put it in percentage term, and say 2 decimal places. That means in 2016 August, the ADR dropped by 0.83%. Then you can copy and paste, right, this year-on-year percentage to all the months. But of course, right, because it is a year-on-year change, so the first 12 months would not be estimable. Okay, now, so plotting this graph is very simple. Let me show you first. Insert chart, select data, add, select value. So say for example, if you would like to plot the ADR time series, simply choose the time series that you would like to plot. And then this one can be ADR. The axis label for time series should be year month. Okay. Yeah, so that's more or less, right, the ADR index. Here shows you the full range from 2015 August to 2020 December. And we can then select data, add, select value. Now we include the year-on-year change, right? And this can simply say year-on-year. Then you can choose, if you double click, right, this year-on-year chart, click secondary axis, it will show on the right hand side, right, the values of this one year-on-year. Double click number, then you can choose percentage, right? You can choose decimal places. Yeah, okay, so the right hand side represent this year-on-year figures. Trying to avoid misunderstanding about the two lines, so this year-on-year changes can be plotted as A-shaped because it always fluctuates between 0%. So then right click, change, then choose change series chart type. Then for this YoY, choose area. Then it looks like shaped area. Then you can choose color by double clicking. Then choose view and choose color. Right, say blue. You can enlarge it. Done now. If you would like to start from 100 for the ADR, so as to show right its trend more clearly, that it grows up from 140 in 2015 to about 230. Yeah, so it now looks more or less the same as the Canada House Price Index chart. Now, if we would like to change the period, then every time we have to select data and then change the range and also change the range of each variable. So it would be quite clumsy to adjust or to choose time range. So here I refers to this YouTube, which make use of the index match function, which can provide this kind of interactive function for you to select different range from two range. For detail, right, you are recommended to refers to this YouTube, but here I simply showed you how to do that. First of all, right, we provide two cells. One is from year month, and the second one is to year month, and then make use of data validation. Click data validation, choose list, and then choose the list to pick this figure. So now we set the year month. Yeah. So now when you click this arrow, it provides the full list for you to choose the from year month. Similarly to this one, right? At this cell, click data validation from a list, then choose the same range. Okay, now you have two figure, one is from, one is to. So now you, by means of the index and match, let me show you how to provide this kind of dynamic range, time range. So of course it's quite complicated. So for details, you can refer to this YouTube by Lelia. It shows you step by step. While here I simply would like to prepare three index match range to return the time range, the ADR range, and the year-on-year range. Now let's show you how to incorporate it into an interactive time series graph. So first of all, we have to use formula, and in a formula you are allowed to define name, and in using the name, say for example now if we are going to use year month as the name, then you can define it by copying this index match command into this range. So I have prepared this formula name YYYYMM, and I copy this index function into this formula name, click OK, and then I also define another formula called ADR, and then I copy the ADR index match function, and then I create YoY by copying the index return index match function here. Okay, now that means we can use YYYYMM, ADR, and YoY as the name to use in plotting time series graph. So now we go back to select data. So instead of inputting this series value, we change the range to the name ADR. So we keep the sheet name here, Airbnb ADR at Auckland, exclamation mark, and then use the formula name we defined. Similarly, for YoY, we keep the sheet number until exclamation mark, but change to the formula YoY we create. Similarly, for the range, that's the sheet number, and then define it by the formula name we created. Okay, so now it becomes interactive. Let's see whether it works or not. So say for example, if we choose the starting date to be 2017 January, okay, let's do it again. Let's say we start by changing the starting date to be 2018 January. Well, you will find that right now it changed to 2018 January. And then if we set the end date to be 2019 December, right, it becomes 2019 December. Now if the start date go back to 2016 January, yeah, and then the end date to be the latest one. See, okay, it become more interactive. That's all for this time series charting exercise. Thank you.